All right, hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Too Hard to Pass podcast. I'm your co-host Juan Martinez, and to my left or to my right, it's Jacques Slade busting the move. How we doing, man?
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We got a fun show today. I'm excited about today's show. And it's just a good day. You know, it's a beautiful day outside. I mean, it's hot. I should say.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful day, but it's
outside.
hot.
It's what is it, like in the 90s for you, or is it like high 80s? It's a little bit of that over here.
Easily in the 90s. You know that, but it's that time of year now where we're gonna just be in the 90 degrees every day now. So there's not really much we can do about it. So like this week, it's dropping down to the 80s tomorrow. So like it's 90 today, and then we'll be in the 80s, but then it goes back up by the end of the week. But then it's in the 80s, and like it's like, you know, mid 80s, low 90s, which is not terrible.
That's terrible. Not terrible for July.
Not terrible for July. But we are, as we know, it'll get worse pretty soon.
Yeah, I love the constant updates of us of the weather around here, because I'm sure it inspires some hate from like the rest of the world, like parts of the world where it's like, oh, in the 80s. Oh, that's great. That's great. Fantastic.
Yeah, no.
I'm happy for you guys. Oh man, I feel so bad for y'all 80s. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Well, anyways, figured I'd do, like, you know, always do this at the end of the show, but I figured we'd started like kick it off like doing the plugs at the start of the show, because, you know, I've seen like, oh, the stuff gets retained when you do it at the start of the show. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, concerns, and all of that, leave a email in the mailbox. We have a mailbox. I guess it's the email mailbox. The email address is toohardtopasspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is toohardtopasspodcast@gmail.com. That's the number two. So don't forget that. So at some point we will do a mailbag once again. Maybe when one of us goes on vacation or something. When Jacques has to go to the Jordan Board of Governors meeting next year, you know, whatever it's going to be held. He's going to be invited, and he's going to be taking selfies with Michael Jordan and all that. You know, with all the Jordan athletes and everything. So, you know, expect an episode, a mailbag episode when we do that, when Jacques has to be there at, I don't know, where's it going to be next year, Jacques? Where's it going to be? It's in Greece this year, but where is it going to be next year? I'm pretty sure you know already.
First, let's just put this out there that you did not sell in the plugs at all. That was I did not believe you at all. So
if you want to do it at the end, you can do it too.
No, I don't want to do it at the end, but I just want to apologize to the audience, because you did not sell it at all. It's like they're gonna be like, I mean, you didn't sound like you want us to go there, so why would I want to go there? But whatever. Second, I am not invited to the Jordan Board of Governors, and I have never been invited to the Jordan Governors. In fact, Jordan Brand had a launch of, I think it was the 32. I believe it was the 32 or the 33. Might have been the 34. I'm not sure. But it was in France. And they were having the Jordan Board of Governors there at the same time. And we still weren't invited. And we were in the same country as them. So we do not get invited to the Jordan Board of Governors. I do not get invited to the Jordan Board of Governors. So you're spreading lies, malicious lies. You are Pam Bondi promising the Epstein list and then taking it all back right now.
We are not. Whoa. We are not. I do not have any list of any kind. I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's all move on to the next. Let's move on to other topics. Let's not talk about those kinds of things around here, Jacques. What are you talking about? You're funny.
I'm not saying you have the list. I'm just saying equivalent to the lies.
Wow. Did not expect to go there, man, but did not expect that tangent. But anyway, the Jordan Board of Governors meeting, though, I mean, to be fair, it's not actually open to the media, right? I think it's only invited to Jordan athletes. It's not actually something that me, you, or really anybody who's not a Jordan athlete can be invited to.
Exactly.
But for some reason, I mean, you said it's held annually. I didn't know it was actually annually. I thought it was like a once every couple year thing. And then,
I mean, I'm assuming it's annually. I assume it's annually, and we just don't hear about it.
But for some reason this year.
Yeah, for some reason this year they're having a big PR fuss about it. Mm-hmm. So like I got an email about it announcing it, and I never got an email announcing it before. So
really?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why or what the difference is for this year, but for some reason Jordan Brand wanted people to know that the Board of Governors thing was happening. So yeah, I'm not sure why.
For people who aren't familiar with it, it's a annual, semi-annual, who knows, basically meeting, coming together of Jordan Brand athletes. And of course, MJ is there to basically be the presiding over everything. And then they just party. I guess that's what that is.
That's essentially what it is. So like I'll read part of the email is like,
okay.
Welcome to Jordan Board of Greatness 2025. With those words, Michael Jordan opened this year's. See, that makes it seem like it's every year. Board of Governors gathering, setting the tone for a weekend rooted in reflection, connection, and vision. As Jordan Brand continues its celebration of 40 years of greatness, this moment served as a powerful checkpoint, a chance to honor the journey so far while actively shaping what comes next. Last sentence, at the core of the gathering was about strengthening the Jordan family, creating space for athletes to connect, bond, and be a part of something bigger than themselves. And there's just a bunch of assets. A highlight of the weekend, a candid Q&A with MJ where he spoke about the meaning of greatness and the power of showing up with purpose. So it sounds like, it says there were 20 athletes, more than 20 athletes representing basketball, training, and U.S. football alongside entertainers like Miguel and Anthony Anderson. So you've either got to be an incredible superstar and to get invited or a Jordan Brand athlete. And I am neither of those things. So,
oh, come on.
I was not invited. I'm looking at the picture here. Like, there is LaMelo. I mean, is LaMelo, goodness gracious. Is Melo here? I don't see Melo here. Am I just missing Melo?
I think Melo's there.
Oh, there's Melo. Yeah, Melo's there. Yeah.
I think Jalen Hurts. Russ isn't there, I think.
I don't see Russ. I don't see Russ.
Yeah. From the group photo, I don't think Russ is there. But there is actually someone very significant in that picture, especially for Filipinos. Keifer Ravena, the first Jordan Brand Filipino athlete, was invited to this particular Board of Governors meeting. And it is causing quite a stir on the socials back in the motherland, as I like to say.
Tell me more.
No, I mean, because he was a star athlete, big superstar in college, and played in the pros in the Philippine Basketball Association, but also I think now plays in the Japanese league or in the China league. I'm not sure, but he plays overseas now, and because Jordan Brand has such a huge influence, popularity back home in the Philippines, because we are a basketball crazed country. We love our Jordans, Kobe's, LeBron. Well, not so much LeBron, but Jordans and Kobe's. But Jordan Brand opened a flagship store in Manila. And to celebrate that, I believe that's around the time that they also signed Keifer to a Jordan Brand deal. And he was actually one of the ones who debuted the Jordan 4 Manila, which, I guess if you have followed me before, I have gone on record saying I'm not the biggest fan of that particular fours. But it's still a big deal. It's still a big deal that the country, the Philippines got such an honor. So to have Keifer be invited to the Board of Governors, he's taking pictures with MJ. I think he's got a selfie with Luka going out there on the internets. And people are tripping out over it. Very proud. It's just a very proud moment for us, just because we, our representation in the basketball world is not, we don't actually perform well in those big stages because, we are vertically challenged, shall we say. Our tallest people are like 6'4", 6'3", that kind of thing. Those are our big man is like 6'5". So when we go to like the FIBA World Cup, we don't always particularly do well. So, but we do love our hoops. We're probably like, in terms of popularity, in terms of like just love for the game, we're probably just second to the States, to America. And so to have that kind of honor, to have one of our own make it to the Board of Governors is pretty cool moment for us. So just shout out to Keifer Ravena for making it there. And shout out to my nephews who actually were teammates with Keifer back in the days. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Tall?
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about it. No, they're 6 feet. They're 6 foot.
Are they?
And,
I thought they were taller.
Yeah, they're on that like 6', 6'1". So yeah, no, they were teammates with Keifer back in college. So yeah, shout out to Keifer, and that's all I'm gonna say.
You're like you're like 1 degree removed from being at MJ's government. Well, 2 degrees, like from Keifer to your nephews to you. That's like you're like 2 degrees removed from being at Jordan's governor's ball. That's closer than me. I didn't play with anybody.
I knew you were gonna do. I knew you were gonna try that, and I still did it anyways, and I regret it now.
No, I'm just saying you're 2 degrees removed, and I don't. That would make me 3 degrees removed. So you're closer to being at this governor's ball than I would ever be. To be fair, so that's awesome. No, that's cool. That's awesome. I love that for you. I love that. That's cool.
No, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that.
Shout out to your nephews. They're only 1 degree away.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna. No, I mean, we talked about this before the show. I'm not gonna say any more besides that. Shout out to my nephews. Anyways,
shout out to the nephews.
So, do you think it's partly because of the 40th anniversary of the Air Jordan? Maybe that's why it's got to be, right. That's probably a big reason why they kind of did a media blowout this time compared to like other years.
Yeah, because you don't usually have. I mean, they don't usually announce this, which made it super interesting. So I don't know what it is about Jordan this year.
Yeah, the athletes will like post on their socials like it already happened, like or they're already there.
Yeah,
but there's no like big PR rollout or anything like that. So.
Yeah, this one had a PR push. I mean, it must be part of like, oh, this is the 40th anniversary. Let's go back in history, talk about the 40th, all those things. But yeah, don't know much more than that. It's such a weird announcement, but it's cool. No, it's cool.
Yeah, and it seems like it's timed weirdly, right? Like you said, there was like the Air Jordan reveal of whatever year that was, and it was in Paris. And that when was that? Like sometime around the same time, or was it like?
Yeah,
earlier?
I mean,
like,
it was during the summer.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it was during the summer. They typically do it during the summer when like everybody's pretty much off for the most part. The summer is the only time is really every sport kind of has a bit of a break. So football, like they might be in. No disrespect to the baseball guys. But, right now is when, basketball is over, last month. Football hasn't started yet. So this is kind of when like they have that big break for the big of the American sports. So and athletes, I think track might be going on right now, but it's not like they're there every, they have a meet every single weekend kind of thing. So they can get away and come for, a weekend in Greece with El Senor Jordan.
Wow, you went with the Greece. I'm not sure that was a Greek accent, and then you went El Senor Jordan. That was a very all over. That was
just I'm multicultural, bro. I'm multicultural. That's all it is.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. It's better to be multicultural than to just have to be like the monoculture, as they like to say. Just can't.
Yes,
gotta be. Oh my gosh. So anyways, looking forward to you being at the next meeting, and hopefully you'll have a report for us. Or hey, if you don't go, I'll go.
I mean, the only way, I think the only opportunity I have of ever being invited to a Jordan Governor's Ball thing is if I think I became like a golf professional or something like that on the Champions Tour, and I was sponsored by Jordan. I think that's the only way that I could get, because I can't think, I'm not going to make it in basketball at this point. I'm not going to make it in football. I'm not going to make it in, the only sport that I could still have a chance is golf. And even that's a far flung chance, but like, that's the only place that I could possibly make it and be a Jordan athlete and get invited to the Jordan Governor's Ball. So I gotta go work on my golf game. So I'll get that invite.
I mean, you did mention that what was it? Anthony Anderson was invited. I mean, he's a celebrity. I mean,
he's a big celebrity.
There's always a possibility. Like you could host it. I mean, there's always a possibility that you could be like introducing MJ or something like yeah.
So become like a really popular host. Yeah, just become a really popular host, or just like a big TV show that comes like a Jordan guy. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, so my chances are very slim. Either way it goes, my chances are very, very, very slim of ever being invited. So I'm working on my golf game regardless, just in case. Get on the Champions Tour. Once I'm old enough to get on the Champions Tour, then try and make it out there, make it in these golf streets.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you gotta hope. You gotta put that out there. Put that energy out there. Like, Jordan Brand, if you need a host for next year's Board of Governors meeting, or if you need someone
Yep.
on the Champions Tour, Jacques Slater is more than available to be there. So
I could be the slightly younger version of Ahmad Rashad.
yeah,
You know what I mean? The slightly younger.
My main man, as Ahmad likes to say,
Yeah,
be
my main
introducing.
man.
Yeah. Introduce MJ to the stage, my main man, and MJ looks at you like, the hell? Who?
Yeah. Got to make it work. Ahmad made it work.
Yeah, of course. Everybody was his main man. All right, so moving on. So I had like an actual rundown of the show to kind of talk about certain things, but something came across my timeline right before we went to record this, and I've been checking it out, and it seems like, of course, the internet fell for it, and I just cannot keep themselves from arguing about it. It's Bleacher Report's top 100 NBA players of all time. And, it's the summertime. This is the content drought, and people don't really have a lot. Well, I mean, for particular sports, right? Like, people like to talk about the NBA being a 365-a-day-year league nowadays where, there's always news and all that stuff. But there are those dry spots where there's really nothing to talk about. So what better way to get people talking than by putting a ranked list and getting people, the fans, fired up for no other reason than to just get fired up. And naturally, I looked at the list and I just saw right away a couple of things that, was, I don't know, I don't know what their criteria was. I don't know who was participating into making this list. But as soon as I saw the list, there were a couple of entries there that I knew. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, no, this is going to get a lot of people talking. And so interestingly enough, it's always they're right next to each other, like a pair of names. So number 1 and 2, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Obviously, that's going to get a lot of people talking for obvious reasons. There's going to be a generation of guys and gals and everybody who's going to always be down for Michael Jordan. And hey, MJ's my GOAT, but I'm not going to argue with someone who thinks LeBron is the GOAT. But it's the internet and everybody has something to say. And so all the LeBron fans are mad right now because, oh, why? The Jordan played with plumbers and blah, blah, blah. He wasn't that, that kind of stuff. So it's got a lot of people heated. But that's to be expected. Like any Jordan LeBron argument, the discourse of Jordan LeBron is just always going to be around. It's never going to go away. It's almost like it's just white noise to me at this point. It's just like, please put that. I just expect people to just talk about that. Right. And you just put it in that corner of the internet and just please go away. But it's never going to go away. I'll just try to ignore it. Now, the second thing that kind of got me, the spidey senses all tingling and all that stuff.
Tingling.
Yeah. The engagement, the rage bait was the two players at number 10 and number 11, Steph Curry and Kobe.
Yeah.
Steph is 10, Kobe is 11. Now, for the most part, Kobe seems to have this very interesting reputation in terms of where people rank him. He's either just right behind MJ and LeBron, or sometimes they'll put it'll be MJ, Kobe. It's always some sort of combination of MJ, Kobe, and LeBron for a lot of fans. And then there's another section of fans who just don't rank him in the top 10 at all. They just don't. They just don't believe, they diminish his accomplishments and all that stuff. So it's either one of the two. Now, interestingly enough, Steph is there at number 10. It's interesting to me that, for the longest time, it was always oh, can anybody ever actually crack the top 10 anymore? Can anybody ever crack, from this modern era? Because it seems like the top 10 has always been kind of firmly established. You got your MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Magic, Russell, Tim Duncan's kind of snuck in there, Wilt, Bird, Magic, and all that stuff. And Kobe was typically either just outside the top 10 or in the top 10. But now Curry has actually creeped his way up into a top 10 list, and Kobe seems to be the odd man out. Now, I wonder if that's going to start a whole oh, Steph wasn't that great anyway. He played in a soft era. Kobe played in the tough era. And I'm wait a minute, you guys were diminishing anyway, like, you were diminishing Kobe's era, and that's kind of closer to Jordan's era. And anyways, so it's like Steph has now officially reached like that point where people are going to be arguing his spot in the top 10. And now it's going to be like, oh, does Kobe is the one that gets kicked out, or is it someone else? But this is like one of the first like instances where Steph is firmly established as like a top 10 all time, or like, knocking on the door of top 10 all time. And Kobe seems to be the odd one out. And that seems to be the thing that's going to get a lot of Kobe fans heated.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, looking at the list, for those that don't know, it's the top 10 is MJ, LJ, KJ, MJ, other MJ, I should say, then BR, SO, TD, LB, WC, and then SC. And then they have KB as number 11. Mm-hmm. Now, my thought is I would go MJ, just so we don't argue with anybody, although it can be argued that KJ would be above him. I would say, if we're going to do it, let's say Kareem, MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Mm-hmm. I feel like Magic and Larry Bird are like the same person. Like Magic and Larry Bird are the same number together. Like you can't really separate those two. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like those two are the same number. And then Shaq, and then Bill Russell, then Tim Duncan, then Steph. And I would put KD right after Steph, and then I would put like Hakeem.
So if you put Magic and Larry as one, that means, Steph is still number 10. And Kobe,
Steph, the Steph KD jump. Thing. Yeah. I think Steph and KD are pretty interchangeable.
All right, that's the thing too. Is right. Steph and KD seems to be the one that's. It might not even be Steph and Kobe. It's more Steph and KD for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's more like, Steph and KD. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think Kobe has surpassed Magic and Larry Bird. But that's a tough, that's an argument for itself. And then like Shaquille changed the game, but I also feel like Kobe changed the game. I feel like LeBron has changed the game. I feel like Jordan has changed the game. Kareem changed the game. All those guys have definitely changed the game. Larry and Magic, they changed the game. Wilt Chamberlain changed the game. Like all these guys changed the game. But I just feel like Kobe definitely, I feel like Kobe should be a little higher up on that list ahead of Tim Duncan. Like I would probably put Steph and KD before Tim Duncan. Ooh, if I had to do like, it would probably be like Shaq, Steph, KD, Tim Duncan kind of thing. But I mean, I'm sure that's going to cause any arguments for people as well. So whatever.
Yeah. For me, when I look at this top 11, like if we're just looking at, the top 11 right now, it's tough for me because when people talk about the GOAT, the only argument that I would ever accept for GOAT is Jordan, Kareem, and Magic. Like, interestingly, I understand like Magic and Larry being tied together forever. You can't really separate the one or the two. But if you were going to, I always looked at Magic as like the perfect basketball player, just the dude who got everybody involved, could score, just did everything, right? And just, man, dude was flashy, like, and of course, a lot of that is also my nostalgia. Part of it is like, because growing up, like, see my dad loving the 80s Showtime Lakers and everything, and just jumping on that bandwagon too. It's like, I can't really knock that. So I will always hear a Magic is the greatest of all time argument and kind of not necessarily put him number one, but I will hear the argument. With LeBron, it's tough just because of like finals record and a bunch of other things. Just there are instances where he just didn't seem like he delivered when it really mattered the most. And again, that's not a knock to him. And and just getting to that point is a huge accomplishment. Just having that, the fact that he has a losing finals record and it's just a lot of appearances in the finals, that's a hell of an accountment in and of itself.
Yeah.
Just to get 100%. There to that point that many times, it's not something to knock at. Like, hey, he didn't win all the time, but he got there. That's nothing that's nothing to sneeze at. And it's interesting. The Steph and KD argument is interesting because KD seems to be getting a lot of knocks because of how he left OKC to go to Golden State and how he's become sort of a mercenary of sorts post Golden State. So I feel like a lot of people are kind of diminishing his legacy because of the way that he's kind of gone about his career. And I feel like it's not going to be until after his career playing days are done, is going to be even after his Hall of Fame induction is done, it's going to be like years from now, we're going to look back and realize, man, I think we really, we as a whole really kind of underestimated KD. Kevin Durant, like, just, yeah, like I feel like he's going to be someone that history is going to look fondly upon. But at the right now, because we are in the right now, like, right now people are knocking his Houston move, just like they knocked his Phoenix move, just like they knocked his Brooklyn move. It's just going to keep, that's just how it's going to be. And it's just something that we're just going to have to get through to get to that point where everybody's just going to appreciate him 10, 20 years from now.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, totally. And then other things, I thought it was funny that Draymond made the list of top 100 of all time, because if there's anybody who is super polarizing, is Draymond Green, because of, the statistics that he puts up, because it's not super impressive, but the fact that he was such an integral part of 4 championship teams and the way that he plays with Steph. And, he just does a lot of things that just don't show up on the box score. And that's just the reality of it. We don't recognize defense the way that we do offense. We don't recognize his great playmaking ability that we do, like, say, like, even compared to Magic, right? And I'm not comparing Draymond Green to Magic Johnson, but Draymond is always the guy who makes the heads up plays, the smart moves and all that stuff. Of course, he also makes the boneheaded plays, and that overshadows a lot of it. And I feel like that is probably the thing that kind of gets people annoyed when they see Draymond on a list like this. It's like, what are you talking about? Draymond is like, just causes more headaches than he's worth. And I'm like, yes and no. I mean, you can't knock the results, though. 4 championships. And he was an integral part of all of those championships. Like, you can't, I'm not saying they wouldn't have won. They would have won without Draymond, but it's pretty hard. It's hard to see them winning all of those championships without Draymond.
100%. I think that's just Draymond. Hey, Draymond obviously is a very polarizing figure.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you see this sort of response to his gameplay. Again, not to say that this is not to say that he deserves to be on this top 100. I'm sure there are players that you could name that you could put on this list ahead of him, but I'm not opposed to him being on this list. I'll say it that way. Like, I'm not like, no, he doesn't deserve to be. I know that there's obviously players that you could, other players, but I think the impact that he's had and the way that he's maneuvered within the game, the way he thinks about the game, the way he executes within the game is worthy of being in a very subjective top 100 list.
Yeah, totally. And, speaking of subjective, like, if you go further down this list, there's a lot of stuff that you're like, how did they come to the conclusion that say, okay, so one that stood out to me was Anthony Davis is number 45 and Kevin McHale is number 46. What is the thing that makes you decide this particular ranking, right? Like, how do you put Anthony Davis above Kevin McHale? How do you put, like, how does that work? Like, what's the thought process behind that, right? Because again, it's like different eras. Like, it's so hard to really figure out, like, because the basketball that Kevin McHale played is a lot different than the basketball that Anthony Davis played. Both phenomenal, great players, great in their own eras. But it's like, how can you confidently say that, yes, Anthony Davis was better than Kevin McHale? Or how are you confidently saying, like, Tracy McGrady is better than Carmelo Anthony, who's better than Bob McAdoo, who's better than Pau Gasol? Like, how, like, and that's why these lists are always it's just a way to get people talking.
because, like, I mean, also they have like for number 33. So 33 is Jason Kidd, 34 James Harden, 35 Steve Nash, 36 Allen Iverson, 37 Bob Cousy. But then they have Tony Parker at 86. Like, Tony Parker should be over in that group with the Harden, Kidd, Nash, Allen Iverson, Bob Cousy. He should be right over there in that list as well. Like, in that grouping, that grouping of guards. It's like they just put together a bunch of guards in that one group. Yeah. And somebody was like, oh shit, we forgot about Tony Parker, 87.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I feel like Tony Parker still needs to be in that group. But but so it's like, again, it's all subjective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you mentioned Tony Parker. When I thought about him, like, well, Tony Parker, is he really? But then Tony Parker was the lead point guard on 4 championship teams. I think he got a finals. He has a finals MVP. Jason Kidd doesn't have that. Allen Iverson doesn't have that. Steve Nash definitely doesn't have that. He never even sniffed the finals, And Tony Parker got all of those. And you could be like, yeah, well, Tim Duncan and Ginobili and all that. But yeah, no, but still, he was still an integral part of that team. Like, it's no different than the Draymond situation, where it's like, do the Spurs really win all those titles without Tony Parker? Again, he was MVP for one of those finals, man. So yeah, it's like I said, like, these lists are always it's just fun to talk about, but it's nothing to ever get heated about. Like, it's nothing to get people upset. It's like, if you want me to be like, like a thing is like, why is Penny Hardaway not on here? Like, I know he only had like 4 or 5 good years, but damn if those 4 or 5 good years weren't amazing, right? Like,
Yeah.
So that's why these lists are always it's just fun to talk about and not to take too seriously. But knowing how everything works online and the spaces that we have to occupy, there's going to be people who are just going to be like, I can't, dude, this is a travesty because Kobe's not number 11 and all blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's a little wild that Kobe's not top 10, but it's their opinion. And also, they know what they're doing, man. They know that this is going to get the people riled up and talking and and that gets them going to the website and going to the Bleacher Report pages. And, it's all engagement. Like, it's all that. So, and, again, it's hard to rank eras. It's hard to rank, it's hard to compare these players because they play totally different games of basketball. And when you do this list 10, 20 years from now, you're going to see a lot of names on there. You're going to be like, why is Cooper Flagg on here? Why is Luka so higher up now? Because Luka is number, what is he? 57. He's already number 57. Like, Luka, he's Laker. We got, we are down to support Luka, but it's wild to me that Luka is number 57. And there was a name on here that I thought was kind of wild. Klay Thompson's number 98. It's like, how do you rank Klay Thompson, four-time champ? Luka hasn't even went to the finals once. Crazy to me. Dennis Rodman's number 67. Like, it's just, like I said, it's just one of those things where, it's the summertime. We ain't got nothing to talk about. And so let's put this out and get people just fired up to support their guy. So
I get it. I respect it. Great job. Bleacher Report. You got us talking about it here on the podcast. So can't complain. Good job, guys.
Yeah, totally. Well, moving on to our next topic, Jacques. So let's talk about the number 2 person on that list, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
He's going golfing, man.
I love it. You love to see it. About time, LeBron. I know it took you so long. Welcome to the golf family.
Speaking of things that people are, talking about, this got a lot of people buzzing about LeBron just playing golf, and I just thought it was it was just a fun bit. But it was like, whoa, LeBron, golf. Man. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is that people just got so excited, pumped, hyped for LeBron James to play golf? What was it about LeBron that kind of incites that kind of reaction? I
think it's mostly golf people. Like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's mostly golf people. And, golf is so, for lack of a better word, golf is so thirsty for what's the word I'm looking for? Golf is so thirsty for not confirmation, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Golf is so
confirmation I think is a good word, like, just sort of like a cosign or something like
that. Yeah, golf is so there you go. Perfect. Golf is so thirsty for a cosign that LeBron coming into the game is like, "Oh, look, there are other cool people. Like, I'm not just the only cool person, guys. Like, there's other cool people that are playing golf as well." And I love it for golf because, you don't see a lot of people getting into the golf space until they kind of retire. So to have like a player of his caliber that has a sort of respect in the sports world that he has, that's still playing inside of the world of golf and doing it his own way. I mean, that's just an energy for the sport and for the people that don't come from like the traditional country club background. But yeah, look, we're into this sport, and so is like these people that the world considers cool as well. To show, and like goes to show, like I'm not just a crazy, insane golf person. Like there's other people that really love this sport as well. Although I am technically a crazy, insane golf person, but I think it's a cosign for the golf world that we love to see. It would be the same thing like, if Kobe was still here, God bless his soul, and Kobe started playing golf, like people would lose their minds. People would have lost their mind to see Kobe get out there and play golf. So I think it's that same sort of energy of like, yes, this is somebody that's not from our world coming into our world and doing it their own way. And I could see like golf could be such a huge thing for LeBron's business. Like it maybe even be a strategic decision on behalf of like LeBron's team. Like, hey, we need you to get out there and playing some golf, because brands are going to fall over themselves to be involved with him. Like just from those posts alone, you could see in the comments like brands just like frothing at the mouth. Just because it was like, oh my God, LeBron, blah, blah, I don't know, anything you want, LeBron. What do you want? Like you could just see how thirsty and excited they were because the guy was in the sport. So I'm excited. I'm excited by it, and I think it's a good look for golf overall.
And I think it kind of shows the difference, the gap between LeBron and Steph, because when Steph, we always knew that he was like when he was first, becoming a superstar, we kind of already heard that he was into golf.
Yeah.
But it was not the same. Like, people weren't like jumping over hoops or anything to just jump on the Steph golf bandwagon. Yeah. With LeBron, though, it was just a flood of everybody. Just like you said, the thirstiness, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because it kind of reminds me of wrestling in a certain way, like the WWE in particular. Mm-hmm. Like this past weekend, they had their big event, like, a couple of big events and everything. And, they had their celebrity row of like, people in attendance. They had Lil Yachty on there. I think they had Quavo. And it's like, and you can kind of see, I don't want to knock the WWE, but it does seem like sometimes when they have these celebrity appearances, it's like they look like they're not necessarily wrestling fans. I mean, you can tell who's like wrestling fans. There's a lot of, like West Side Gun is a huge wrestling fan. He goes to all the events. I feel like he kind of just pays his way there because he's never like mentioned. He's never mentioned in any of the broadcasts, whether it's WWE or AEW. You just see him there and you're like, that's a fan. That's a guy who's just like, he just loves this stuff, right?
That just loves this. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you see like a Lil Yachty on there and I get Yachty's vibe is kind of like half enthusiastic always anyways. But when you see it, you're like, does he actually like this stuff, or is he just being paid to be here, or is it like a promotional thing, or who knows?
Yeah.
So, but the way that the WWE or like wrestling fans, kind of flock to that, it's like, oh, look, this guy who's cool is like watching our thing and is super into our thing.
Yeah.
Like us too. We're not, crazy, insane people. So I thought it was. And I've always like I love always drawing these parallels between wrestling and golf because they're so totally different things.
Yeah.
But they have so much things that overlap that people don't notice. Their biggest events are within a week of each other, or sometimes they take place during the same weekend, WrestleMania and the Masters. They have a lot of celebrity involvement now. Like they have a lot, so I always love drawing those parallels, and it always freaks the people out because there's like golf fans who look down on wrestling like, oh, look at that, blah blah blah, it's fake. And like, don't you know it's fake? I'm like, dude, yes, we know it's fake. Right. Dear God, do you know what else is fake? Do you know Game of Thrones is fake? Oh my God. Did you know the Avengers wasn't real? Oh my goodness. Oh my, did I just blow your mind?
Right.
And then you've got the wrestling people who look at golf as like, the uppity, bougie sport that's like, too good for them and all that stuff. So I'm like, but because I'm a fan of both, I see the parallels, and there's just so much in there that they like, it would blow their minds if they ever saw like, oh, you know what? We're kind of the same people.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, so that celebrity involvement. And like, it's funny because when you talk about LeBron, there was I think it was like LeBron's rookie year or even before he was in the NBA. Like LeBron showed up to like a Monday Night Raw once upon a time when Stone Cold was still like active, and he was like rings, like, in front. And to this day, WWE still references it. And I'm like,
Yep.
are you guys thirsty for like LeBron's approval from like 2003 that you guys still like bring back that memory? So, and
the
that's,
answer
but
is
that's
yes.
the power, and that's the power of LeBron is like, yeah. Oh, you like golf now? Oh my goodness, we need to talk about it. We need to send him stuff. Like, hopefully he like, we'll get that cosign and everything.
Yep. 100%. You're going to see, I bet you every brand in the world sent something to LeBron. Every brand, every golf brand you can think of, if they had access to him, or they have some access to a PR list with his wherever his gifting is sent to him, he just sent they sent him everything that you, bags, clubs, shoes, shirts, shorts, hats, golf balls, like divot tools. Everybody sent it to him. I'm sure. I can only imagine what his shipping PO box looks like now because of all that stuff.
Right. I can't even imagine like an athlete, like a non-golfer, all of a sudden just take up the game that would inspire that kind of reaction nowadays. Like that's what made LeBron just a singular kind of entity, right? Like if he were to join that, what was it this past weekend, right? Was like the big celebrity golf tournament.
Yeah.
Or like the American, what is it?
The Century,
the one in
Century, American Century, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's another athlete in the world, and I'm even counting like the Messis, the Ronaldos, and all that stuff. If LeBron were to join like a tournament like that, I think that would just draw so many people to go to top. I mean, there's already a lot of people there, which is always funny to me. I'm like, you guys are just watching non-pros play this, and it's like, I get the celebrity appeal. I've always, every time that tournament plays every year, I'm always like, yeah, I can just watch the highlights, but I don't really need to watch like 3 hours of Charles Barkley doing it. I mean, no, okay, that's a bad example. I do want to see Charles Barkley.
You do want to watch 3 hours of Charles Barkley.
Yes, that's actually a bad example. But I don't want to see, I don't want to knock this, but like random NFL punter, all-pro punter, play golf for 3 hours. Like, I don't need to see that. I'll watch Chuck. I'll watch Steph because he is a phenomenal golfer. Like, he seems like the type who's like, if he actually put the effort into it, he could make the Champions Tour someday. But when it's like, not like, mid-level, not superstars type athletes, or the ones who aren't entertaining, I wonder why people watch it. But celebrity adjacent dudes, I get it. But, for me, when I see but if LeBron were to ever join that tournament someday, whether it's he actually takes the game like semi-seriously, and then pops up in that tournament a year, 2, 3 years from now, that crowd is going to be like when Caitlin Clark played like that one Pro-Am one time, right? So many more people are going to show up just because LeBron did.
Yep. People are going to lose it. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah. So that is definitely like that, and that just goes to show you again, like the power, the draw that LeBron is. Despite the fact that people like to knock him, people like to bring him down and say he's not, the biggest deal in the world. I'm like, not when he does something like that. Like, imagine
if, like, sure?
Like, imagine if LeBron showed up at an F1 race, right? Or said like, oh, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to race, or I'd like to own an F1 team someday, right?
Yep.
F1 people would lose their damn minds. Like, and that's just a reality.
I don't know. They didn't let Mike do it, so F1 might be like, nah, we good, bro.
Well, not yet. Well, we'll see. I do still hope that happens someday. Jumpman on the F1, Jumpman on the paddock. By the way, I did watch that movie this past. I did watch that movie this past weekend. Pretty good. Good stuff.
I heard it was good. I want to see that, and I want to see Superman too. So.
Oh yeah, totally Superman. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the Superman that I want, which we've talked about many times on this podcast.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Superman. My ideal Superman is just the Superman that everybody knows and loves and all that stuff, but is a Hall of Fame dick to Batman. Just trolls him incessantly, just tells him, anytime I could take you out. Oh, hey, Bruce, I could tell everybody that you're Bruce Wayne right now. Just magnanimous, good guy, just great to everybody. But every time he sees Batman, he's like, sup.
Just a Batman
I got
hater.
You, right?
That's all you are. Just a Batman hater.
I'm not even a Batman hater. I like Batman actually more than Superman, but I would definitely appreciate a Hall of Fame troll Superman to Batman.
That sounds like a Batman hater if I ever heard one. I'm just saying.
Anyways. So, moving on to actual sneaker news, because ostensibly this is kind of a sneaker podcast, but not really. Let's be honest.
Kinda, but not really.
This is where we kind of get our takes off on other things. But let's talk about LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
The Puma MB. I'm sorry, not Puma. The Puma. Puma. Shout out Sir Lewis Hamilton. The Puma MB.05 has debuted, and boy, is that interesting. That is an interesting looking sneaker.
It's definitely it's a unique take on, but of that similar design language. I'm not opposed to it. The two straps give it a very Jordan 8-ish kind of feel, or Air Raid sort of feel. But I think they've found a formula that works for the MB line, and they're kind of sticking to it, and just it's like they're just dressing around the upper and changing a few lines here and there. They're not trying to radically reinvent the horse, which works. It works. I think the community, or the people that are buying Melo's shoes, they love it. They it's obviously a big seller and people are really into it. So I'm not opposed to it. I think it works for the audience they're trying to reach, and it has a flashy, so it's flashy and kiddie enough, I guess, or young enough that it works for his brand, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely catering to a younger audience. Like, it's definitely not something that, I mean, anybody above the age of 30 probably looks at that and is like, what the hell is that? Probably. Yeah. But for LaMelo's fan base, which still skews young, it's definitely made for them. It's definitely made for the wild, just a little bit out there kind of funky vibe and everything, of course, with the colorways. And I've always said, like, oh, I wonder what it would look like with like less wild colorways, but we all know that's not going to be the case with the MB line. It's always going to be wild. It's always going to be out there, and it's always going to be something that is not traditional, shall we say.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's young. It's young. It's aimed at a very young demo. Like, it's aimed at the 8 to, the really maybe even younger, like the 5 to kind of 15-year-old. It's not aimed at the more mature hooper, the adult hooper. That's not really the audience that Puma's going for. They're looking for that young kid that's just playing basketball on the weekends, or that's in the park league, or that's in AAU. Like, it's all on a younger demo. And I think these designs cater to that. They're risky. They take risk and chances that other brands aren't willing to make. And I think that's why the shoe has been so successful.
So, which kind of brings me to my question when I first saw this. Do you think, though, at some point the line has to grow up? Do you think that there might hit a point where LaMelo isn't like, how old is he right now? I think he's like in his mid-20s, right? But what about when he hits 30? What about when he hits, mid-30s? Do you think the line actually has to, quote unquote, grow up and mature?
I think the line will mature as Melo matures. So I don't think there's going to be a conscious decision to mature the line. I think it'll just eventually get more serious as his career stabilizes and he becomes a more mature player. I think that's just a natural progression of it. Kind of like, like MJ back in the day, up through, maybe the 8, maybe the 9 a little bit. It was more like playful. Like, it was a little bit more playful design, if you think about it, especially like the 6, 7, and 8, like they're very kind of playful still. And especially the 5, like the 5, I would probably say is the most playful of the Jordan line kind of thing. 5 to 6, 7, 8 is kind of gets really playful again. And then when you get to like the 9 and 10, 11 and 12, like it starts to be a little more serious. Like MJ retires, goes to baseball. I feel like, that's all part of just like the growth of MJ as a player and the maturity of MJ as he got older. And MJ wanted more different things. I want a shoe I can dress up. I want a shoe that looks a little cleaner. Like your design taste change. And I think as LaMelo's design taste change, we'll see those things start to happen.
Right. I just don't like it. It would be odd for me to see, like, let's say LaMelo has a long career. God willing and all that stuff, right? Has a very prominent career, all-stars, maybe even does like, a couple of good playoff runs and all that stuff. And we make it to say the MB15, right? Like I cannot imagine the 15 looking like the MB.05. Like it would just be
no.
It would,
no.
yeah, no, it can't be that same energy, right? Like I just can't picture it being that same kind of energy. It has to. It's weird to say grow up, right? But it has to like change. It has to evolve. It has to.
It has to evolve.
Right. Yeah. So I just because you look at it right now and you're like, is it ever gonna be something that I can wear or like, anybody above the age of whatever. And, to be quite honest, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter. It seems like it doesn't matter to them. Like it doesn't like they're not catering to us. And I'm not saying they should, but at some point, like these fans are growing up with LaMelo, right? And I think they would want to retain those fans. And, those fans are also going to grow up as well. Yeah.
I think it's going to change. I think we'll start to eventually see the line, and I don't want to say mature, but I would say evolve because I think Melo's design and inspiration and his style will start to evolve, and as that evolves into a more serious, more clean cut, more minimalist, all of those things start to kind of happen as you age. You'll start to see his shoe age with that as well, because he's going to want to be able to wear his shoe on the court and be looked at in a certain way. Like right now, he's young. I'm a kid. I'm having fun, and I think his shoes reflects that. And so his shoes will start to reflect a more serious player. Not serious as in like style serious, not as in like how he approaches the game.
Right, totally. Yeah, no, I just think it's going to be interesting to see how it evolves through time. And, he also has like his lifestyle stuff. And that seems to be designed it does definitely have a very out there vibe, which kind of, fits LaMelo's style and everything. But it's definitely a lot like, but I have seen actually, what was it? Was it like several weeks ago? I actually saw somebody, I wouldn't say my age, but maybe like a little bit younger than me, actually like wear it casually. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That works. Like the La Francais or something like that. Yeah, I think that could work. That could work. So maybe that's his more grown, evolved. That's where maybe that's like we're seeing the signs of it there first.
See the signs of it there first, and then
get to like the on-card stuff later on. Well, all right. Well, we are at the almost hour mark, so you know what that means, Jacques. It's time for everybody's favorite sneaker segment. It's Sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus time. Well, it's time. Okay, I didn't know we were going to go there.
Sorry. Got it.
Anyways, it's time. It's time, Jacques. It's time for us to finally do the Air Jordan 11 Sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus. Yeah. So the rules, for those who are not familiar with Sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus, is what we do is one OG, one non-OG, one collab, one player exclusive, and one wild card. But the Air Jordan 11 doesn't have any collabs, which is actually kind of surprising because I thought there was one with OVO. I think there is one with OVO, but really, are we going to count that? That's not really what I would consider a collab at this point. So what we're going to do is one OG, one non-OG, two player exclusives, because there's a lot of Air Jordan 11 player exclusives, and one wild card. So I think you started last week.
Yep.
Yes. So I will start this week, and of course, with Sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus, it's sneak order. So I'll go first, and then Jacques will pick two. So for my pick for the OG colorway of the Air Jordan 11 Sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus, I'm going to go with the Concorde, because why wouldn't I go with the Concorde? It's pretty much the easiest pick of all time. And I'll reference this now. What year was it? I think it was the year 2001. Do you remember the 112 music video, It's Over Now?
Yes.
Do you remember that? There's a part there where they're like dancing, like, they all have Jordan 11 Concords.
Yeah.
There's no pictures of this. There's no videos of this. I checked. Thank God there's no record of this anywhere. But at a party in college, a bunch of us dressed up like the guys from 112, complete with Jordan 11 Concords. I had a Charles Woodson jersey on, and we failed badly at trying to recreate the dances.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Oh my God, I love it. Just the thought of it.
There's nothing. It was a one-off. We just thought it'd be funny to do it.
I love it. I'm all for it. I think you guys did.
My buddies,
I wish there were photos.
There's none. I've tried to look for it, but there's none.
All good. All right. That's a good one though. That's good. So I'll say mine is obviously going to be the bread, the black and red, I should say. Hard to beat that one. You know, I would say I would even put that above the Concords in my mind. Although like I know we've talked about it before, like which colorway represents a certain shoe. I feel like for the 11, I think between the Concord probably wins out the bread by just a little bit, as to what colorway you think of when you think of that shoe. So I'll go with that one. And then if we're gonna go with the second OG colorway,
non-OG,
gotta go with non-OG colorway. Oh, non-OG, yeah. Then Cool Gray. I think Cool Gray has to be the next in line for me. Kind of like a classic colorway. It almost feels like an OG colorway. If we're being honest, to me at least, it almost feels like it's an OG.
Yeah, I feel like between the Space Jams and the Cool Grays, even though they technically aren't OG, but when you think about the original Jordan 11 colorways, it's hard not to say that Cool Grays and Space Jams aren't part of that. You know, are not part of like the OG when you think about those. Because I think if you really just narrow it down, if you really want to get like really granular with it, the only OG Jordan 11s are Concord, Bread, and Columbia. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Space Jam and Cool Grays kind of fit that mold too, and there's really no if it's just one of those like OG-ish, close enough. It's one of those like it only the most technical, the only most like diehard will be like, well, actually, we'll kind of do that to you. But for most people, I think if you said the Space Jams or the Cool Grays were OGs, you'd be like, no, I can see it. You're not wrong.
Yeah. They wouldn't argue that. Yeah,
totally. But we could also place that as non-OG, which is totally fine as well. So you went with the Bread and the Cool Grays. That is like very good choices. So for my non-OG colorway of the Jordan 11, I'm going to go with the Jubilee. So that one, I like that one, but with a qualifier. And I actually have you to thank for this because I asked you, hey man, how can I get rid of the Jordan on the eyelets? the Jordan. Yeah. Because I like those. It's just all black. You know, it's not like the Space Jams because it has like that blue, purplish Jumpman on there. Yeah. I like the Jubilee because it has the silver Jumpman on it. Yeah. But of course, the Jordan on the eyelets just never sat well with me. And I understand it's part of the original design with Tinker and all that stuff. I get it. I understand the history behind it. But it just doesn't look right. It just looks off to me, right? And I remember when I got my pair, I think you had done it first, right? I think you went with, talked to shoe surgeon, I think, or somebody.
Yeah, I went to Dom. I had Dom help. Yeah, Dom helped me. Yeah.
And you pretty much told me it's like nail remover. I think that's what I used.
Yeah, acetone.
Like nail polish or something. Acetone. Yeah. So I ended up using that, and I was like, oh, now it's perfect.
I think it looks so much better. Shout out to Jordan Brand to making them removable because they could have easily like printed it into the lace straps as opposed to like gluing it on top. And so thankfully they didn't do that, which gave us the room or the ability to kind of pull that off. and for it still to look like a decent shoe. Like it didn't ruin the shoe when you did that. At least in my opinion, it didn't.
Yeah, but if it was painted on there, then I'd be like asking you, hey man, like what paint did you use to take
it? Yeah. How did you?
We would find a way
to paint over it. Yeah,
we would find a way. Like we would find a way. All right, so for my first player exclusive of the Jordan Rushmore, I'm going to go with. Oh, there's so many. Dang.
Yeah.
There's so many to choose from. I think I'm going to go with Randy Moss's turf version, which is the Minnesota Vikings colors. It's like white upper with the mudguard is the purple. It's Lakers adjacent. That's part of it too.
Yeah,
is like,
I respect
Vikings
that.
and Lakers are, but it has the 84 on it. And, Randy Moss was one of, if not my favorite football player of all time. So, gotta go with that. So yes, shout out Randy Moss. So I'm going to go with that for my first PE.
Okay. I don't know if this qualifies as a PE. Because I don't think I ever saw him. Did he wear? I don't know if you ever saw him wearing, but the Derek Jeter Jordan 11 PE, the blue suede. It's like that blue, like a bluish suede. I don't know if he ever wore them, or if it was just like a one-off that they made.
I mean, that's technically a one-off. I mean, I think they did release I think they released a version of it that was for retail, but then there's actually like just the one that's just made for him. So that technically counts as a PE. So
okay, all right.
He did wear like Jordan 11 cleats though. Like he did wear which were kind of like Space Jam adjacent too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, hey, can't go wrong with Derek Jeter, the captain.
Yeah, and then it's the wild card, right?
Oh no, it's your second PE. You have another PE.
Second PE would be Jeff Green, his like bright silver or reflective silver Jordan 11s. Like that's something you wear like on stage, like on the basketball court or on stage. Like you just can't wear those in public. Like you can get away with wearing all the rest of the Jordans we've talked about. I feel like you get rid of wearing all of those in just like in public. But Jeff Green's, there's no way you can wear those in public. You got to wear those like on a red carpet or something like that. There's nowhere, I don't know where else you could wear them.
Yeah, shout out Jeff Green, man. Like when I first saw those shoes, I was like, whoa, hey buddy, man, that's a choice there.
That's a choice. I mean, that's a choice.
I wonder, was that Jordan Brand's just sending that to him as like a haha check? I dare you to wear this, Jeff Green, or did Jeff Green specifically request, I want chromed out Jordan 11s?
I'm gonna say he requested those. Can y'all do one in chrome? And it was like, sure. And he was like, done deal. Let's do it. I love it. They look super cool. They look super cool. I just don't think you can wear them in general, like in the general public. You've got to wear those for some kind of special event.
Yeah, no, totally. Like it's not something like if you saw somebody wear that at the mall, you'd be like, you okay, man?
Yeah, like what's going on? Like what's going on?
What's going on here?
I mean, I'm sure somebody that's way more stylish than I am could do it, but I just can't pull it off.
Yeah, totally. All right. So for my second PE of the Jordan 11, I'm gonna go with I have to show love to the IE version, which I still am not sure what exactly it's called, like what the IE stands for, International Edition, something elephant or something like that. I don't actually know. And to be quite honest, I'd rather prefer to be totally ignorant about it for the rest of my. There's just some things I don't need to know. There are just some things that are just, it's fine that I don't actually know what it means. I would rather be in the dark about what it actually means. Like, I feel like if I was told what it actually meant, it would kind of ruin the mystique of it. Like, there's part of that magic of like, oh, like what like, just to always wonder, what does it mean? But if someone were like a Nike or Jordan were to actually tell me what it meant, I'd be like, oh, you kind of ruined it. You kind of ruined the magic. So nobody tell me.
I want to know.
No, you want to know. It's fine. And it's fine that anybody else wants to know. But if I can go the rest of my life without ever knowing what it actually means, I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be searching for it is basically what I'm getting at. So but for a PE, I'm going to go with the Luka Doncic Matador Red Jordan 11 IEs. That was definitely like a funky look too. I guess it's another one of those, you can't wear those outside unless it's like a special occasion kind of shoes. But yeah, I thought, I rock with it. I'm cool with it. And also, I just
I'm
figured
not
I'd
mad
just
at
show,
it.
yeah, the IE version some love too, because it's an integral part of the Jordan 11's legacy. So I definitely am a big
Agreed.
fan of that too.
Agreed.
So
Oh,
totally. So
agreed.
that is my PE pick, my second PE pick.
Okay.
So
And then now's
that
your
leaves,
wild card.
yes, my wild card. So this is a recurring bit on Sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus. I'm gonna go with the ultimate gift of flight, the baby blue Jordan 11.
Okay.
Pantone, kind of Pantone. I guess it's not really called the Pantone, but it was like a pack, a Jordan pack, which came with the Jordan 11 and the Jordan 29. So, but yes, I'm going to go with that one because baby blue is a great color, and there's really nothing more that needs to be said about that. Baby blue is a fantastic color that works for all different occasions and circumstances, and yeah, there's no yeah, it just works with everything. I don't really feel the need to talk about that anymore. Besides that,
Okay, let's get to choice. And I'm for my wild card, and I'm surprised neither of us named it earlier. The Ray Allen,
yeah,
the like red and gold ones. I'm surprised neither of us mentioned them yet.
yeah.
I thought they were. I thought they were going to get snatched up earlier on in this conversation, but you decided to go with the color for a child's room instead. So it's all great. We appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ray Allen PE, the more respectable colorway. Which again, just disappointed that you didn't bring these up earlier and had to save them for last. But we got it. We got it. We got him. We got him out there, which is the important part. And Juan's still wearing shoes that, for a gender reveal when you're not sure if it's a boy or a girl kind of thing. Got it. It's cool.
Wow.
It's cool.
Wow.
It's cool.
Anyways, that was episode 45 of the Too Hard to Pass podcast. Did not expect that ending. Hey, I am your co-host, Juan Martinez.
Yeah.
Jacques, you do the better version of the shameless plug.
Yeah, I'm Jacques Slade. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is the Too Hard to Pass podcast. As always, we're here every week. Every Tuesday pops up on the Hard Pass channel, so you can check us out there. You can always send us an email if you have some feedback. The Too Hard to Pass podcast at gmail.com. That's the number 2, not the word 2, but the number 2. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm Jacques. That's Juan, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
All right, peace.